Hi there, this is a rider, a beginner rider, and my first bike is Suzuki V-Strom 250. This bike is one of the best. Today morning also, when I was driving the bike, suddenly the Hmda, the road safety people have put a lot of speed breakers and they have not been marked properly. So it was very difficult to identify there are some kind of road dividers, very big in size. I was driving not very fast, but it was 60 km/h speed. So once I went there, I saw just 3 feet away that there is a speed breaker. I jumped off few feet in the air, and when I landed, I was very safe. And all these credit goes to the two things. First is the bike. The bike is built with such a smartness, such a beautiful technique, that it has all the ability and capability of its higher siblings, 650, 800D, 1050 V-Strom. So suspension, front, it has only play of 120 mm, but still it was very strong enough to handle that shock. And as it was a huge impact, I was thrown out in this space, but my bike, being my companion, it was always with me. Of course, I was little off the saddle seat. That technique I learned from my best friend, who is teaching us now friction zone technique, Andrei Bodrov, motor control instructor and himself a great rider. He taught us how to sit in the bike. If you want to sit in the bike safe, be on the ball of the feet on the pegs. And the fuel tank should be embraced very tightly with your knees and thighs, so that in the cars we have our seat belts. Here we don't have seat belts, but this will work just as close as to the seat belt in our motorbikes. So I was holding this fuel tank and my ball of the feet were on the pegs, so it was very cushioning. I was thrown off in this space, but still I was in touch with my bike, and my bike, my lovely bike, my best friend, really didn't do any harm to itself or to myself. Now, I really congratulate Mr. Bodrov, the instructor who really taught me how to ride the bike. I invite Mr. Bodrov to give some information about friction zone, which is very, very important for slow speed riding, making U-turn, making circles, and moving our bike in the figure 8 configuration. Friction zone I have really mastered. You can see a lot of videos when I'm practicing with my beloved, lovely, very strong, powerful, the most affordable bike, the baby V-Strom. Now friction zone by my best friend, Mr. Androv.
With friction zone technique, we can accelerate our bike not by opening the throttle, but by releasing the clutch instead. The main idea is that we keep the throttle slightly open the whole time, and we keep the clutch partially pulled. We don't pull it all the way in, and we don't release it all the way out. Instead, we keep it released partially. And when we need to accelerate, we release the clutch a little. When we need to slow down, we pull it a little. If we keep the throttle open, we now have almost instant acceleration when we need to. There is virtually no lag in power delivery. As soon as you start releasing the clutch,
here, friend, you can know that we have to keep the machine in our full control. That is called loading. Keep your bike loaded. Throttle is giving enough power to the engine by supplying the fuel, and your clutch, which is in the friction zone, means effect when it really combine the gears, that is called friction zone, with your power, the bike remains powerful. There is a skill, and I have experienced it. Now at any slow speed or at any U-turn or circles or U-turn or any kind of difficult terrains, I keep my bike always very strong, powerful, and I never fall, never tip off, never drop, never stall. Okay, sir, go ahead.
accelerates right away. And obviously, since you don't release the clutch all the way, you can't stall as long as you keep your revs up. With all that being said, what we do when we ride at slow speeds is when at some point we lose the balance, we can just release the clutch a little and our motorcycle will accelerate and stand up. Easy, right?
He's my friend and he really taught me how to be a great rider. Of course, I have gone to various channels and a lot of friends have given me a lot of tips, but I was so much impressed by my best friend Bodrov, that I really appreciate his teaching skill. If possible, I will go and join personally his teaching lessons in Russia.
You'll never have to muscle your bike upright ever again. You just move your fingers slightly and that's it.
It's few
It's in
millimeters
balance
only.
again. Pretty
It's
good
not
deal
bad.
if you ask me.
Yes, sir.
But we
It's-
can make it even better if we add some rear brake to these. Now, there are a lot of instructors who teach to drag rear brake the whole time during the slow speed.
I've learned from him in weaving my bike. I've also learned slow speed riding, U-turn, turning, circling, and all these, moving the bike in the figure 8. And I know my bike is so powerful, there's no chance of dropping my bike. Thank you, viewers.